introducing the guest, let me take this opportunity to quote a dialogue from the film The Sky is Pink. Your sky can be any color you want it to be. That dialogue perfectly fits to Siddharth's personality. It is indeed my honor to introduce such a humble and down to earth personality to you all, Mr. Siddharth Chopra. Mr. Siddharth Chopra is a manager of production with Purple Pebble Pictures Private Limited. He has worked as a producer, executive producer, co-producer in Bollywood as well as various regional SMEs, etc. The production house gave us a national award-winning Marathi film, Ventilator, and one of the most loved films of 2019, The Sky is Pink. Sir is certified from London Film Academy in production management, movie magic budgeting, and scheduling. Sir is a hotel management graduate from Les Roches International School of Hotel Management, Switzerland. Sir is a CEO and founder of Purple Prive Resorts Private Limited, director at Studio Aesthetic Health and Hospitality Private Limited, owner or managing director at Mugshot Lounge, Pune. I welcome you, sir, at RIM Pune. It is our honor
Thank
to
you.
have you amongst us. Sir will be speaking on the topic how COVID-19 will impact the media industry. Thank you. Rima ma'am, over to you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Akhtar. Siddharth, I would request you to take it ahead from here. Before that, I would also like to put a fun fact or trivia that you are also brother of Priyanka Chopra.
Yes, that's
And
correct.
I would also like to tell you that my one of the first Marathi movies in theater was Ventilator, and one of the absolute favorite movies in all the languages. And I've cried a bucket, and I've never gotten myself to watch it again. Um and you are, I mean, Purple Pebble Films is doing amazing in all genre. You entered Marathi, you have
Thank you so much.
Bhojpuri. I think you started with Bhojpuri, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, our first film
Bhoj,
was Bhojpuri.
right. Bhojpuri, you are in entering now Konkani as well. You have you are entering Bengali movie for as well, and you're also completely good movies as well in some of the social
Yes,
issues, right?
Bollywood, and we might be linking some of international projects or
Absolutely.
Hollywood projects in conjunction with
Great.
PPP as
So
well.
that's amazing, Siddharth. Having said that, I would just like to put it on record that Siddharth is here to talk about Purple Pebble pictures as well as the impact of Corona-19 on media industries. So we would keep the questions limited to that for itself. Siddharth, I'm just keeping it or putting on record for the students. We would not entertain any questions regarding Priyanka on this. If anybody needs to
Sure.
ask any question, I would ask that question, which I will not. And
Sure thing.
after, right, I am and after his session, we're going to have a Q&A session for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So those who have questions, please use the raise hand option, and he will be addressing the question one by one. So Siddharth, over to you. I'm also making co-host so that if you need to share anything or if you need any special right, you can use that. So
Sure.
welcome to RIM once again, and please take it ahead from here. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Well, I would start off by, I mean, I don't need to tell anybody about COVID-19, but the thing is, I would start off by sharing my own experience that film production is very, very time-based industry, and it's mostly involved with money making part of the filmmaking process. So we as PPP decided that we wanted to start with regional films because there's a whole array of storytelling there, and which do not usually get a national platform of viewership. So, but with PPP, we started with small to medium budget films like Ventilator, like our Bhojpuri film, Pamam Bol Rai Kashi, Kashi Amarnath. Those are pretty nominalized hit films. And with our company, with Priyanka backing the projects, we could provide them with a nationalized platform. Most of our films, even though were regional, they had English subtitles when going to theaters. But of course, with every territory, it gets limited in terms of regions. So in case we're doing Marathi films, we would focus more on Maharashtra, some parts that will also have Marathi speaking territories outside of Maharashtra. Likewise with Bhojpuri, Assamese, Sikkimese, they are the smaller territories of India. So again, the outreach is very limited. when we send it out of their respective states. So now with COVID come on board in this life-changing ordeal, now basically what it's doing is a lot of the films that have already been shot or are in post-production have sort of been temporarily on standby, and we were still waiting to get a clarity. What's the way forward? Do we still release in theaters? Theater exhibitors have been a huge support system of the film industry for generations and years, right from the beginning of film conception in this country. Theater exhibitors have been our supporters. But at this point, with COVID 19 playing a role, the problem here the actually the same. Government itself has banned theaters from releasing any films, and so theaters are in sort of a crisis right now. And yes, I can understand that they want us to support them, but we would like to support them in the best way possible. But right now, for our films that are already ready and are waiting to get on the platforms, the best way for us as producers is to make sure that our films get out without further delays, because any delay leads to an over budget in film. And right now with COVID, we don't know how many months or whether it would take a year for the theaters to open. That's why most of these film producers, which already readied films, are now shifting towards OTT platforms. Like Kangna's Halaivi is also going on OTT with Netflix and Amazon, because that is the only way out for our ready films to get on platforms. So that is what one of the things that we have to face with is. Secondly, that we have to face with is our projects which are still under development, or the films that are concepts we are sourcing. Right now, all we're able to do is source the concept, but we cannot, tell the writers or directors or even our co-producers any sort of timelines, because until we get a clarity on the shooting, the shooting guidelines, the new shooting guidelines, which IMPA and the other producer guilds are sort of currently working on, and we are trying to still understand what will the new shooting guidelines be as we're headed towards a new world order. We need to know how we're going to shoot. On an average, a film crew takes about 100 to 120 people to man a set, to man a unit, to man a shoot, including your actors, your writers, your HODs, your lower crew, your cameraman, assistant cameraman, all these guys. So the issue here is, are we going to be having the same number of strength in terms of our shoot, or are we going to have a reduced strength in terms of our shoot? If we have a reduced strength, it may lead to higher costs, longer delays of films. Usually a shooting schedule of a film is on an average 30 to 45 days. But now it's going to be harder, as our shooting schedules might go longer. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, that's what we are trying to ascertain right now. How is the new way forward in terms of shooting for our films, shooting for our web series, shooting for any other content, even TV? Yes, TV and web is at the safety and security of people's homes, but the shooting process is not on digital. It's still very, very physical. It's still going to lead to certain delays. The industry has been facing losses, and we are trying to support as we can to our junior staff, our spot boys, because a lot of these staff earn their keep only on a project to project basis. They're not exclusive to any company or exclusive to any production house. They are all hired help for the duration of shoots. And these guys have hit the worst low in terms of how our industry is affected. So there are producers, there are directors, there are filmmakers, there are trying to support these people, and we have to stand together in order to resolve this. But that's what I'm trying to say, that yes, the production business is fantastic. Industry has a lot of glamour, but production is the least glamorous role in the industry. I don't know if many of you all know that. I'm sure you guys have watched award shows. So awards are for almost every category that they have, except for production. There's no best producer award that you get in the industry. Yes, you do get best film awards, which mostly the director goes to accept the award on behalf of the production company. But as a producer, there's no award. The only said award for a producer is, the fact that your film is doing well. So you have to always keep up with, how much you're spending in a film and how much you can recover. Money is always on the minds of a producer, and you have to make sure that you can deliver on take and at a nominal cost that you have projected, rather than overcosting due to these unforeseen circumstances. And that is what is leading to delays in films being announced currently. So that's basically my opinion on how the media industry has been affected and how it will further push. But all in all, I think we will overcome COVID-19. It's just a matter of time, and we have to be patient as an economy. And every industry is getting affected. But the only thing we can do is try to minimize the effect on us financially. And so, right now, a lot of these writers, a lot of these producers are using this time to source out new projects, source out scripts. They're writing scripts. Just the other day, I was on a call with this one Rohit Shetty and a couple of other filmmakers, and they all are utilizing this time to source out new films, write new scripts, develop new content, so that once we get a clarity on when we can shoot, when we can start, the whole process, the back process is all ready for us. So that's basically what we are waiting on right now. Even we as a company are looking to source scripts for web films, and because that's the new way forward, I guess, according to me, at least for some time, until we get a clarity on the theaters. Because theaters internationally are our biggest supporters. On an average, we would hit 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 screens globally. We won't get the same number via OTT. Yes, OTT brings homes. OTT is subscription based. So again, the revenues coming from there is limited. Whereas theaters, it all depends on seat occupancy, how much, over how many weeks it has run your film. And so there's a lot more flexibility there as opposed to OTT. But now this is the best way forward for the film industry to go to. And rather than having mounting costs on us through delayed projects, this is the way every producer is thinking as the best way forward to get your film out and going. So that's basically my opinion on film production and how COVID is going to associate with us for whatever duration it is.
So Siddharth, do you think that this trend is here to stay, or do you think after the things normalizes, this might go back to normal? Because
I don't think it will go back to normal, but it will be sort of a new normal.
Okay.
People will take whenever film we are applying for insurances, right? So currently the insurance companies don't know what to do with regards to COVID insurance. So now there are companies that are working on developing, COVID insurances for films, particularly for films, because it is going to be a big factor. If we are going to have a big budget film with action sequences, foreign shoots, romantic, intimate sequences, you're going to need a bigger crew. You're going to need more equipment.
Correct.
And with bigger crew, all right, everybody is maintaining as much social distancing as we can. If it's an open set, if it's an outdoor set, sure. But what if it's a closed set? What if it's a indoor set with equipment, with cables, with all sorts of wiring around, people moving up and down, from spot boys to assistant cameras to ADs, everybody moving around. There will be 20, 30 people. So how do we try and factor in social distancing
Mhm.
and keep our mask, gloves, sanitization, everything on, which I know now the producer guilds are putting mandates out and they will be doing that. So we are looking it as a new normal as
Mhm.
opposed to going back to the old normal.
All right. Uh, I have
Siddharth,
one more question. I have a few questions from students. Before that, I also have one more question. Is that
Sure.
for us going to theaters and watching movies and experience it itself? It doesn't limit to only watching movies. It has also includes the popcorn and the food before and after that, right? It's part of the family
Correct.
outing together, right? Do
Yes.
you see that also being impacted big time, and it will also uh, maybe affect the way people experience that or go frequently, or maybe they have to
Yeah.
even theaters will have to do different precautions, and it might add the cost of the tickets as well.
Absolutely, because if you see any theater is on average 150,
Mhm.
300 to 4, 600
Correct.
seaters. Okay, and if you are going to, okay, for the gold category, if you're going to keep one seat free, that will maintain enough
Mhm.
distance, but then the cost will
True.
subsequently go up.
Right.
And for the, for the higher
Mhm.
occupancy theaters, you're going to have to keep at least two
Right.
seats free, and subsequently that cost will also go up. So, and right now with the government still keeping theaters and malls
Chat.
shut
Right.
to quite a lot of extent, public areas shut,
Mhm.
just goes to show that for at least 6 months to a year, we may not be able to go into theaters.
Mhm.
And even if the government opens the theaters, I think the public will feel uncomfortable going into
Mhm.
those theaters unless and until there's a vaccine, or unless and until the theater exhibitors can guarantee their safety. Otherwise, I think to be put it up. Popcorn and those items
Correct.
will come after.
True.
First thing would be the
Correct.
occupancy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Siddharth. I have one question from Dilip. Dilip, go ahead and ask your question, please.
good afternoon, sir.
Hmm?
On my movie, that there are 24 films only.
Hmm.
Crafts were involved for the completion of the movies. So, as per you,
Correct.
which craft is most affected, and which will be affected for longer time? How we can work on that?
See, I think every craft is important in the industry, but right now, moreover, so it's the lower guys our time from home while maintaining social distancing. But for us, these lower crews, like spot boys, vendors, caterers, what do they do if the films don't go on shoot? So I think
Mhm.
these are the core of any film production: is its manpower, is its lower staff, is its vendors, the spot boys, the light men. These are the core guys of any film production or any web production. And I think these are the ones that need the highest help and support right now, because they are the ones who don't have any sort of work until we go to shoot.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Thank you, Siddharth. Siddharth, I have a question from Debasmita as well. Debasmita, go ahead and ask
Okay.
your question.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi, Devismita. Good afternoon.
So, as you were talking about the theaters, that right now, due to COVID-19, theaters will be much more affected because people won't be flexible or don't want to come and watch in theater. So, don't you think that, as you said earlier, also that film earns the maximum money from the theaters, like the productions, production team earns the money from the theater. So, if when a film comes, people wants more to go to theater and watch the movie, and that's the place where the film makes the most of it. So don't you think
Yes.
because of this COVID-19 thing, and right now due to many apps are there like Netflix or Amazon Prime, most of the movies are turning to shift that place and launch their movies. So don't you think it's going to affect the film industry a lot about it, especially the production house?
Yes, it will affect the film industry, because then again, the revenues, the generated revenues would be lower. Like you have heard certain films doing 1,000 crores, 1,200 crores. That will not be a reality for quite some time now. Because again, when it comes to our OTT platforms, when it's okay, if we sell a film to a Netflix or Amazon that's not released, they are coming on board as a co-producer, whatever, and we show it as a Netflix film. They will buy the project lock, stock, and barrel from us. Okay, so they will give us X amount of money. We are going to take this project. We are going to show it as a Netflix, Amazon original, whatever. It's our project. So they will either buy it as lock, stock, barrel, or if the film is released, then they will do like a revenue share. Okay, so if they do a revenue share also, because Netflix and Amazon is a subscription based, charging anywhere between 800 to 1,000 bucks a month, in which you can watch all the shows, all the videos, everything. So even they are not getting per view amounts, per view monies. And if they're not getting per view monies, then what will come to the producer after deductions or whatever is not going to be pay per view basis. Whereas theater, if I as an audience go once, I pay 500 rupees. If I go second time, I again pay 500 rupees. So it's a pay per view experience. So our revenues are going to get affected. We will have lower revenues, which I believe the industry might have to restructure how much they're going to charge now with regards to artists, directors, their rates. That is going to get reworked now.
So, sir, don't you think that the trend is actually changing towards, like, people are now more into the thing that people are more watching things on their laptops or mobile phone due to this different social apps? So the trend of getting into theaters might change, and the entire thing might be getting affected.
People are watching it over laptops, computers, yes, but I can tell you one thing: theaters would stay. It would take some time for them to start, but theaters have existed since the beginning of our film industry in this country. There are people who still like the theater experience. Going and watching it on a big screen is a very different experience than watching it on a TVs, watching it on a laptops. What about 3D
Yes.
films? You can't watch all of that. You can't watch the 3D films in at home. So people would still want that experience, and only once the government allows us to be able to give them that experience while maintaining social distancing, while maintaining the costs, that is when theaters would be activated again. But I think theaters, yes, theaters may shut or may not recover financially individually, but as a whole, the theater experience is going to stay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. I have next question from our director, Dr. Kumendra Raheja. Raheja sir, please go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, hi Siddharth, can you hear me?
Hello, sir. Yes.
On the onset, thank you so much for coming over. I think it's a great gesture that you
Was my
took
pleasure.
time to speak to our students. A very simple question, like now we all know about the situation outside, and it is, even if the pandemic may go down, but I think our overcautious nature as a human would prevent us from, like you rightly said, going to theaters and stuff like that. So we would want to keep home. So like we always say, that creativity always comes out of, or an opportunity always comes out of situation like this. Do you think the producers will look towards now creating a high quality animation content? Like I said, maybe yes, animation content has been around, but I think not comes to good quality and stuff like that. I think turn creating more avenues in the animation, and take that as one of the way till such time we come back to the normal for that
I
matter.
think we're still pretty far from the animation, because when it comes to animation, India still thinks, okay, animation is for kids. Okay, and when we try to add animation in our films through VFX or through graphics, the quality is not as great as a Hollywood film. Now, when I talk animation, I'm not talking specifically as cartoons, but I would talk animation which would include FX, VFX, any of these things. And the basic of the matter is, like, today, if I do a space theme film like a Martian, for example, do you think India today would be able to give the same kind of VFX quality without having huge budgets? And again, right now, with the economy hitting its lowest, the budgets are going to be a problem, and
Mhm.
animation sometimes can cost a lot. To do it
Okay.
right, to do a
Okay.
decent quality animation is going to be expensive. Unless we
Mm-hmm.
do these cartoon version animations, which
Mm-hmm.
is not for every audience. Sure, it
Right.
can come
Right.
as for kids. So now
Mm-hmm.
Netflix, Amazon, all these OTT platforms are building their children's section now, because now
Mm-hmm.
everybody has, all the parents have smartphones, kids are spending a lot of time on their smartphones, on TV. They're coming up with big content for animation for kids, specifically for kids. But for adults, an animation theme or a VFX theme is still going to take a while for this country to
Mm-hmm.
activate, primarily for the budgeting reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Excuse me
is
for being
going to
naive
take
here.
time.
I was looking at I was looking at a situation where we possibly have an avatar of Amitabh Bachchan or Ajay Devgan who's animated, and then we are able to produce movies with these animation characters rather than with the actual heroes. Possibly, I'm just running a little
But
creative
it's
here. I know
going
that,
to be
but the
very
reality is
different. See, an actor
yes,
plays characters on films. So having an
right, right.
actor as an animation figure is not going to gel with the audience as much, but a
Audience,
character he has played can go
Mhm.
into animation. Like, for
Right,
example,
right, right.
Ajay Devgan did Singham. There's a Singham cartoon.
Mhm.
You know,
Right,
Rohit
right. I
Shetty
get it. I get
decided
it.
to do a Singham based cartoon. So the character he
Right.
has played can turn into animation, not the actor himself.
That's right.
Because
No, I
again,
agree. I
film is
completely
about
agree there.
storytelling. Unless and until
Mhm.
I'm talking about the actor's individual personal story, there's no point in turning an actor into a cartoon. But the character
Mhm.
itself has a story. So I would rather turn the character into a cartoon. Sure, it would look like an Amitabh Bachchan or a Ajay Devgan, but it is
Mhm.
not said Amitabh Bachchan or a Ajay Devgan.
I agree. I agree. I agree. And
So
I
that's
mean,
how
just
we
to end,
differ.
great. No, no, absolutely. What you just said is it does make sense. And a country like India, which is absolutely theater pro and looking at movie
Correct.
watching as a social, as a social outing, like Rima said, more than just watching a movie. I think we all
It's
must
the
pray
whole
hard.
experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Must pray hard that we are able to come out of this soon and we are able to see a lot of creative stuff coming out of your production house and many other production houses. Thank you again,
Yeah,
Siddharth.
I'm sure, because everybody is waiting for it. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's
Please.
pretty much.
Shubhangi, can you hear me?
Yes.
yes,
Actually, to that, after pandemic, will the live events and event management suffer any loss or will have?
I think the live events and event management companies are already suffering a loss. And now, after the pandemic, when we go into the new normal, there'll be a whole lot of protocols. Considering the protocols, how many audiences will come for those shows, that will also get affected. Like, we're going to have to probably reduce our numbers when we do like a concert, a musical concert, or an EDM fest. We'll have to play with restrictive numbers in open spaces and large spaces so that we can maintain social distancing. This will keep on happening until and unless an effective vaccine is out. And then they can probably devise that, okay, have you taken a vaccine? And accordingly, these events would play. But until then, they're going to limit their crowds. They're going to have bigger arenas, in my opinion, to maintain social distancing. Like in Bombay, we see so many of these concerts happening at NCPA. They're all closed arenas. How are we going to maintain such huge crowds in closed arenas while keeping social distancing? So they're going to have to limit the crowds as well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. We have a question from Vishwas. Vishwas, please ask your question.
Hello, sir. Sam
Hello.
Vishwas. My question is, how content writing and delivery will change post writing, and plus also how the management of a film will change the post this pandemic.
See, content writing right now, there are a lot of writers writing content, writing scripts, because that's how they are making use of their time right now. Okay, writers sometimes tend to pre-write their shows, pre-write the concepts, then approach the production houses. I have this concept, they'll send us a synopsis. We'll read the synopsis. If we like it, yes, we would request a screenplay. We would request a narration, and that's how usually it works. So right now, writers have a lot of time. Production houses also have a lot of time. And this is how the writing industry, the screenplay industry is capitalizing on it by making a lot of content. Even directors are making new contents for their new films, which will then be asked by production houses. And from there they would go. And as far as heading to the new normal as COVID-19, see, whatever we can do from home, that's not going to change. But when it comes to, now the government has asked to open offices, 10% staff. Who are the 10% staff for the production companies that go there? So that all has to, be factored in, that if we're going to take 10% staff, are we going to take a team of writers sitting in our office, or are we going to tell them, write your parts individually and send it and then compile it? So they're going to come up with a lot of these new methods. Instead of having a table of writers sitting in a production house, they're going to probably tell them to work from home. And it will be mostly, the senior heads that would be doing business discussions, that would be actively involved in the companies. Those are the ones that will probably end up going to office. And until and unless a shoot is on, and when shoot is on, then again we have to deal with social distancing, maintaining distance on set, everybody to keep gloves and masks on, maybe not the actors. And if the actors don't keep it, and if it's a public place, whatever, how do we maintain, keeping our crowds away, making sure that they'll have to make sure that no non-authorized film personnel is on set. People usually come just to view the shoot. We're going to have to limit that, or maybe restrict it entirely. We can't have unnecessary crowds on sets anymore. So we're going to have to play a lot by the ear in terms of this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. We have a question from Professor Ahmed. Ahmed, go ahead and ask the question, please.
Hello, Siddharth. Hope you're doing
Hello.
well.
Yes, I'm doing well.
I want to congratulate you for your movie Pahuna. Nobody has discussed yet about Pahuna, but Pahuna is one of the best in content, and it is well celebrated at native places and northeast and all. And we want more movies like that. Was it based on substance, on the real issues?
Correct.
So we are getting these kind of movies like Sky is Pink and Pahuna, a masterpiece, and Ventilator also. So do you have any future plan for that?
Well, we are working on content-driven writing these days, because even today, what we have learned over the last couple of years on OTT platforms as well, that it's more towards content, and content plays a huge role rather than just the commercial value. And commercial value in the past was determined by how well it did in theaters. But OTT, now since we're heading towards the OTT era, OTT is more content driven. So there will be more projects every producer would be developing that will be content focused. Like OTT is doing a lot of dark, OTT is doing a lot of horror, some action, some dark, like really realistic concepts. Like, okay, for example, Family Man, Sacred Games. I'll give you the simplest example. That wherever Jamtara, for example, where your audience can relate to your story, that's content. And if your audience can relate to the story, that is what the OTT people want to show, because that is what will hook the audience onto the OTT show, and they would expect a second season. A second season is only determined on the popularity of the first season. Yes, we planned we could do 3 seasons, but we don't start filming it or don't start developing it until we understand the popularity of the first season. So that's why you had Sacred Games 2, Family Man 2 has been announced. So that's how OTT content-wise is going to work now.
Thank you, Siddharth.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. Siddharth, a few questions, but before I ask, I wanted to know, you're fine with it, right? We can take more questions.
Yes,
perfect.
Absolutely.
So again, I have a question from Shubhangi. Shubhangi, please ask your question.
Yes, so actually, I wanted to know that now Gulabo Sitabo is being released on OTT channel, and you said that Kangana Ranaut's also movie is. So how long will this, like, how many days it will continue, or we will not be able to see in the theaters? Or
see, it all depends on the government mandates and how our COVID numbers go. it goes on the COVID flow charts, and whether the theater exhibitors can maintain social distancing, and whether the audience feels confident enough to go to a public theater and watch a film. So there are all these parts and parcels that one has to consider, and these things have to be factored in before we decide that okay, we're going to theaters right now. Yes, the exhibitors asked to hold off our releases until theaters come on, but right now we don't know whether in the next 6 months theaters are going to start activating full-fledgedly. And even if they do activate, by maintaining social distancing, that means you're going to end up having lower occupancy, and by lower occupancy we're going to end up having lower revenue generated, because obviously some percentage will go to exhibitors, then it will come to us, we factor in costs, we pay everybody's amounts, and then what end will come, it will come to the producer. That's how normally it works. So that's the thing. So unless and until we can be guaranteed our revenues, for us to hold a film on waiting leads to cost. Constantly it'll lead to cost. We may want to edit it. We'll have to make sure that our show reels and everything are maintained, kept properly. All that leads to cost. So for 6 months, nobody, producer is going to delay their films because it will lead to tremendous cost. Gulabo Sitabo comparatively is not a very, very huge budget film. So they do not want their budgets to go over. So they are one of the keen players that were first in line to switch to an OTT format, because that way they can certify themselves with an immediate release rather than acquiring higher heavy costs, which nobody is going to help you with. The producer has to deal with it. And in this low economy, how does one deal with this? So that is why now the new norm will be to switch to OTT until things normalize.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. We have a question from Mahima now. Mahima, go ahead and ask your question, please. Mahima, can you hear us? Mahima, we are unable to hear you. I see your mic unmuted. Can you hear us? I think we have lost the connection with her. Students, do you have any more questions? I have Abhishek Pandey has a question. Abhishek, ask your question, please.
Hello, sir. This is Abhishek Pandey from Bareilly. Okay.
Hi, Abhishek.
Sir, actually, sir, very well said by Emma, sir, that Pahuna was a masterpiece by your production house.
Thank you so much.
And sir, I have done theater also, sir, 2 years back. As a theater artist, I just want to know, sir, why don't good content theater play does not recognition in India that could be needed, so that they can be promoted as a good content play, a theater play, sir?
See, your question is spot on. So the plays right now in India does not have a tradition of viewing plays that much, because plays sometimes people are looking for light subjects, light humor, light content, and plays theater, the arts is actually a little bit of a niche in this country. It has not been made available to everybody, because again there are not that many theater houses open in India as well. Okay, you have Prithvi Theatre, you have Opera House, but like for example, you said you're from Bareilly. There's no theater house in Bareilly, if I can recall. Likewise, in Delhi, there are all these government theater houses that have not been opened up to the private audiences to monetize on it. So I think that's the reason the outreach has not reached everybody. Theaters have always had a limited audience because they are targeting very specific limited audience. They are sending out invitations for availability. But now, thankfully, with platforms like Book My Show, the theaters have actually increased its number of audiences over the last couple of years, because Book My Show has made all theaters in this entire country available to book shows. Like I know people even in Bombay that used to go to theaters almost once a week to watch any play that was being screened, because they've always enjoyed the atmosphere. But again, theaters, it is niche because someone who understands the arts is going to go and appreciate a live performance. And now with Book My Show, thankfully that is increased. And now over the years, it would increase. But now with COVID coming on, we would have to wait and watch. Because again, theater is live. It cannot be done over television.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Siddharth. We have one more question from Dilip. Dilip, ask your question.
Hello, sir. I just want
Yes,
to
sir.
ask that after Bahubali, many of them are showing interest towards large-scale movies, mythological, periodical movies, those kind of stuff.
Right.
Would you feel that this is affecting a bit on small-budget movies and how the perspective of movie seeing has changed?
I don't think it would affect a small budget film. I mean, the only way it could affect a small budget film if it's released against a Bahubali. But most producers would understand that and not, release their film with a magnum opus of a film like Bahubali. So a smaller budget film has its own niche. Some people, smaller budget films tend to be more content driven, whereas films like Bahubali, are more commercial driven. So the audiences are slightly different for both of them. Some definitely like to watch both. Some prefer content driven. They're not, stardom based. They would be happy watching a Ayushmann Khurrana as opposed to like a Shah Rukh Khan. Of course, the levels are different. But some are then fan based. They would want to watch someone like a Prabhas or someone like a Salman Khan because it is Salman Khan's film or because it is Prabhas's film, irrespective of the content. So that is your two parallels. They cannot be compared together.
Sir, which plays a major role, screenplay or storytelling?
Pardon?
The key role in a movie, like screenplay or the storytelling, the way we present it. The way we
See, screenplay is a way of telling your story. Okay, storytelling is just a narration, but a screenplay will give you a detail of your dialogues, your scenes. Now, for a producer, if I read a story, okay, if someone narrates a story to me, yes, I know the story. I can understand my way how the story is told. But if someone gives me the screenplay, I can understand the story on how the screenplay writer wants it told. Okay, like if we are given a screenplay, there are dialogues, there is a setting before every scene, that this is how it looks like, this is how it smells like, this is how it feels like. So we as producers can visualize the vision of our screenplay writer or our writer's vision. For an audience perspective, it's storytelling. Audience is not going to see the screenplay in their hands. So they are only listening to the story. But a producer will first hear the story and then get a screenplay as well. So I can make my version out of it and I can understand the writer's version as well.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. We have Divya here. Divya has a question. Divya, please ask your question.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Divya here. Sir,
Good afternoon, Divya.
I do want to ask you a question. Yes, sir. Sir, I do want to ask you a question regarding the movie industry. Like, as you all know, that the South Indian movies are got dubbed in Hindi and as being shown by. So, do you think that South Indian movies or the Tollywood movie industry play a bigger impact on the Bollywood industry as a competitor or a threat?
See, I don't think they would pay, as they would be as a competitor, because only the films that get dubbed in Hindi, the South Indian films, are the super big budget commercial films. Okay, Tollywood, be it Telugu, Tamil, be it the Malayali industry, they do not release every film of theirs in Hindi, dub it in Hindi. They would only selectively release their biggest budgeted films. Like Telugu, okay, if it's a Prabhas film, they will go do it in Hindi. Okay, Tamil, if it's a Rajnikant film, they will go do it in Hindi. Kerala, if it's a Mammootty film, they will go and do it in Hindi. But they would not do every film. So again, Bollywood is not having regular competition with these South film, and even if there's competition is always healthy. So when Bahubali released, there were commercial films in and around, lined up with Bahubali.
Yes.
The smaller films move their dates because you get a limited number of days where you can show your film. If your film is really good, at most it'll go 2 weeks, 3 weeks in the theater. So you have to maintain that your film can run that long. So a smaller film in front of a Bahubali might not run that long.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a question from our Professor Akhtar. Akhtar,
Yes.
please ask your question.
1 second. I'm just gonna move because my battery is about to die. Sorry. Yes, tell me.
Yeah, very good afternoon, sir. Sir, recently
Good
we
afternoon.
have seen that most of the multiplex owners are opposing OTT releases of some very good movies. But on the other
Yes.
hand, the good movies, the content-based movies, don't get enough spaces in the theater screens. So, don't you think that OTT would be a better platform for such kind of movies rather than they should go to theaters and begging for the space and screens?
See, right now, again, the OTT is the only option for us currently given COVID-19 crisis. So, like I answered previously as well, for us, there's always money coming in or coming out. In this case, going out because of the
Okay.
way the economy is. And for films, for projects, even though, yes, the exhibitors are asking producers to support them, because right now the exhibitors are incurring heavy loss, crores of loss on a daily basis.
Okay.
But at the same time, if how does a producer help? We cannot be giving them the money, because we won't have 100 crores for a multiplex like a PVR to give. We might not be able to financially support them, but at this time, for our films that are already shot and are on the verge of release, if we delay those films, we incur ourselves heavy costs. For us, the only way to marginalize those costs is to go digital. That's the only way for us. Otherwise, on a daily basis, we would incur so many losses. But at the same time, with going digital, we will get smaller revenues because our outreach is not as high or is limited. But we have to compromise somewhere. We might not make 1,000 crore today because of COVID, but if we can make X amount of crores and recover our costs, because a Bollywood film is not made for anywhere less than 10, 15 crores. That's a huge cost. So should we delay our film and that year will amount to 2, 3 crores more just because we've delayed our film? Why would we want to do that? Rather release it on digital and try to get lower revenues to recover our costs and maybe make some profit.
Okay. Sir, I have one question, if you
Sure.
allow. So, how marketing of these movies nowadays will change after this OTT platforms and all? Because previously we used to see a huge trailers coming on television and in theaters and all, but now marketing team has to change their strategies as well. So, how they will work now?
See, I think the marketing team will definitely change their strategies to in digital. They will go heavily on YouTube. They will go on television. They will, put on websites as well, probably. So all those things are going to happen. But right now, like when we used to promote a film, we used to do city tours. We used to do physical tours with our actors, with our cast, with some of our lead crews, like the director, producer, and we've done a lot of film promotions that way. But now we're not going to be able to do it because I have seen in my experience, on an average, when we've done city tours and promotions, you have anywhere between 1,000, 1,500, 5,000, 10,000 ka crowd also
Yes.
that will show up. So we can't deal with that now. So we will have to strategically work that if we can't do city tours internationally or domestically also, how best can we monetize it? And the best way we can monetize is probably collaborating with brands, going digital and promoting our film digitally that's how I think we would be able to do it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We will take last two questions, Siddharth. We have one question from Mahima. Mahima, please ask your question. I think there is some issue with Mahima's microphone. We have a question from Professor Shilpa Gaur. Shilpa, please ask your question.
Yeah, hi Siddharth.
Hi,
My question to you is this: that even after the lockdown ends, and at least till the pandemic persists, social distancing norms will remain. So, what will be the new normal for media and entertainment industry?
I think the new normal for media will definitely have to be with regard to social distancing, and you cannot go around putting themselves. They're going to have to camera crew and then sent to the media houses. Their questions could be taken by productions in advance, and then those can be answered with your own camera crew or one appointed camera crew, and then it goes to media houses. We have done this in the past as well. We have done this in the past, so we cannot have 20, 30 media houses from different channels come there. So we usually get one of the bigger ones like an NDTV or something, and the questions are taken over by a marketing team from the various media houses, and then they are asked by a moderator in the press conferences, and then the footage is then sent to all the media houses. So I think they will have to do something like this again, but in more detail now.
Thank you for the answer, Siddharth.
Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you so much. Ramya ma'am would like to conclude the session right now. She's here with us. Ramya ma'am, please take it ahead from here. Ramya, you are on mute. Ramya, you're on mute.
Yeah. I'm extremely sorry.
No problem. Go ahead.
So thank you so much, Siddharth, for joining us for the web series Saban Speak. And looking forward for more sessions. Hope you'll visit our institute once.
Sure. If ever I'm in Pune in the coming future, definitely I would like to talk about it.
All right. Thank you so much. On behalf of RIM family, again, I take this opportunity to thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. We had a great time, and thank you for answering a lot of questions as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, sir.